going on here?
My tooth. I broke my tooth.
Let me take a look.
No, get away from me.
Jimmy, get her. Will you? I got that. Let me see. Open your mouth. Open. Now get your tongue away from the damn. Oh, geez, Lottie, look at this.
Oh, Lord, you can see the root and everything. Let me see.
It smells like feet and Cheetos in here.
So you gotta get that fixed. No man is gonna be.
I'm tapping out.
But all right, fine. You know what, Mike?
I can't do it.
This was 21 years ago, right? This was 21
that
years
was
ago.
rough, dude.
In 21 years, not only has she gotten funnier, she's gotten more beautiful.
I doubt both of these statements.
Okay, I'm sorry. Was this made in MS Paint? Is this a logo for the show?
If a fan made this for us, I'd say it was unacceptable.
Yeah, this is not good.
This looks like the kind of thing like somebody makes for us, like in an instant while we're live and we make a joke about.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna do a show called Simmer Down with Sue Costello. This looks like something one of our guys would have made, but like super fast, like in 4 seconds, and went, here, look, haha, just throw that up on the screen. This is a pilot. They wanted this to succeed.
Somebody says Sherry O'Terry's rolling in her grave. No, she's not dead. Just her career. Just her career.
I think she's alive.
It's bad reputation, Mike. Ronda Rousey's coming out.
All right, let's go. Are they allowed to do that? You think Anthony Cumia is paying them to use?
I doubt it.
Bad reputation.
I doubt it.
Because I don't think you're allowed to do that on your paywall show.
Hi, everybody.
Ah! Okay, so this is going to be rough.
This Twisted Sister reunion's really getting weird, bro.
She actually looks like Cece DeVille from Poison.
Let me tell you something. They're showing off they have water bottles now.
Exactly. Poland Spring. The good stuff.
So it's me, Sue Costello. Here I am at Compound Media.
Who?
And it's not.
Where? Why? When? How? So many questions, Sue.
9/11. And I want to take 1 second to acknowledge that.
So you decided. I'm sorry. No, Mike, give me a second. You decided to do your pilot show on 9/11? No, like, what did you go? Can I do it like tomorrow? Because I want my first show to be fun. You know, like, hey, look at Sue Costello. Now your first show's on 9/11, which, as we all know, was a national tragedy.
And also to tell you that I want to thank Anthony for letting me have this show. Because never in a million years did I ever think that Anthony would be the one that would give me the forum to be able to run my mouth.
Ah! What was that noise?
Turns out I had my mic muted the whole time.
All right, like, look, I get why Joanne Nosachinski is there. You know what I mean? You get a look at her and you're like, yeah, all right, she could get it. Joanne Nosachinski's on Morning with Bill Schultz. She doesn't really add anything except she's good looking. This one, what's the end game here? What is the angle? Other than to humiliate this woman. I don't understand the point of this.
People are saying, bring back Lenny Dykstra.
Or give them, let them work together.
Yeah. The Dyke and the Dyke.
And I
line, all you got to do.
Jesus, she looks terrible.
Dude, she can hear you.
Watch this week as the web grows bigger, the case becomes more complex, and more older model cars get wrecked and plenty of nameless extras get shot. This week on an all-new Revenge of the Sis, followed by Nazi Lawyer. USA, hotels don't have Netflix.
For this performance in Delaware.
Make your shopping day a little easier.
Mervin's Dollar Day sale is going on right.
Or else I won't see you. Because if that
we got to remember this day.
This is the day that the Lord has
Do you know
made.
I saw some dude on Twitter yesterday, some fucking boomer shit. It's been my new obsession is just basic bitch takes on things. These dumb conservative boomers. This motherfucker, I don't even know who it was, but somebody tweeted like, you know what I miss? I miss how we were on 9/12. I miss the kind of people we were on 9/12. I miss people flying flags all over the place and going back to church.
And
so
the
I was
Patriot Act.
So you're saying you missed the day right after 9/11? I just want to be clear here. We were still searching the rubble for bodies. So you're saying is that 9/11 was good. Like, you can't make the point you're trying to make without going, man, nothing brings America better than murdering 3,000 people with airplanes.
Some of the boomer, you're right, the boomer takes. Did you see this one? From Gordon Shuckrow 3? If you're a 9/11 was an inside job, take your miserable ass somewhere else. I won't see you. Because if that bullshit crosses my eye line, I will drag the fuck out of you. Just block me now. Now look. I personally don't buy and I know people are gonna yell whatever. I personally don't buy the whole 9/11 was an inside job thing. I think that we knew stuff, sure, absolutely. I think that shady things were done in the wake of 9/11. I'd be the first one to agree with you with all that. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't add up. I get it. But I'm not really a big 9/11's an inside job. But now I am. Only because this fucker is this boomer nationalism is the worst thing to come out of the entire MAGA thing. MAGA's to blame for giving these fucking simple 2010 take boomers a voice. I hate it.
And who was it that found this guy? Somebody retweeted it.
I was the one that retweeted it.
Was he? Okay, because then I saw a lot of people.
I retweeted it, and then people started going after him.
I didn't know if it was somebody in our community or if it was one, but I just saw like all of a sudden every one of our fans was retweeting.
Yeah.
Like, get a load of this dickhead.
Yeah, I retweeted. I don't even think 9/11 was an inside job, but now I do. If only to get a rise out of this tough guy. Yeah, and it's this typical fucking, like we said at the beginning, I'll put a boot in your ass.
FBI gonna get shine away my civil rights.
Has a goddamn Sean Hannity shirt. Get out of here with that fucking boomer bullshit. Holy
Gross.
fuck. All right, let's I guess we can move on to 1 through 3. I'm gonna put it on you. So no matter what happens, it's your fault.
3.
1, 2, 3. All right. This is on you. This is on you.
Tinder,
Ooh,
Fox,
people always go, hey, how about
Crop
something for the fellas?
Boys.
And I got something for
What
the
is
fellas
that?
today.
Who says that?
This 1920s huckster that I know.
What is this?
I'm on Tinder to
Oh my
find
God.
young lovers. I'm comfortable not wearing underwear though.
God damn it.
She's 83. She's 83.
83.
And also, Macron's wife.
See, that's funny. Because she's an older lady.
Right, very old. A much older lady.
Meet for a drink. If it seems like it's going to be good,
God.
we'll go right up to my apartment.
And I just, Mike, there's a reason I played this. There's
She a 9.
She
there's
doesn't
certain
mess
dudes that She also
around.
likes certain kind of boy toys.
How are you? And we make love.
Holy moly.
By the way, this show is utter degenerate.
Oh, I know.
Yo, Peter Griffin experience. Hey, how's it going, man? Boomer speak.
Oh, Extreme Love? Oh, I know.
Extreme love. Let's drag my face all the way.
Really old too. This isn't like
83.
Look, man, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know, you see some older broads sometimes. You're like, she could get it, man. There are some older broads out there that could get it. This is an old lady.
Look at the
This
hands. The hands.
This is an old lady. This is not.
My
This is
name
amazing,
Patty,
bro.
And I'm 83 years old. I think I know more about males' genitalia than any
She
doctor.
even has the horrible. I'm telling you, it's just like when your entire crippled, withering body consists of mostly aftermarket parts. You know what I mean? It's just you can like it's like when you get a whole bunch of aftermarket shit in a car and it's like none of this fits right. It's all weird. She's fucking falling
Giant
apart here.
spoiler on your
83
Astrovan.
Toyota Corolla
And
with a body kit.
How would exactly. You're a Puerto Rican car.
Exactly.
Wouldn't you be afraid of like? Let's get into the mechanics here for a second. As much as I don't want to, we have to get under the hood here. Wouldn't you be afraid of like breaking her hips or whatever? Like,
oh god,
I get like, oh man, I'm a fuck chicks, but even if you're like a really lonely dude and you still like, you'll figure, look, I'll fuck this 83-year-old. Wouldn't you be afraid of like hurting her or breaking her or killing her?
Yeah, that's that level to it too.
Yeah, that's also really weird to me. It's like,
yeah, what if she dies on you?
I've had girls that were young and cute, but that were just that size, and you're like, I don't want to kill you. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you've had girls that are like, you know, 20, like that chick Kelsey that I was fucking with for a while. She was like 5'1" and like petite blonde chick, and it was, yeah, man, I'm not a big powerful guy, but it's like you're tiny.
And then she forgets to take her Boniva once, and you killed her. Like, that's not worth it.
It's not. Or
I may not know.
I knew a chick one time that I worked with back in the day, and she was dating an older guy. She was older anyway. She was like 40, but she was dating a guy like 50, 60, whatever.
Right.
And but she was like a wild chick back in the day, so she was fucking this dude, and I guess she's like, they were getting really into it, and she let him fuck her in the ass. They were getting like really crazy with it.
Whoa.
And he started having a heart attack. But it was like a mild one. But he had to
Right.
take the nitro, and he had to like lay down. And he's like, yeah, man, it's not to make you feel older. Like, fucking some dude fucking you in the ass, and he has to take nitro because he's almost had a heart attack.
You're fucking old. You're fucking evil Biff Tannen.
So it's not even bones and stuff too. You just have a heart attack. Like these people have heart attacks going to get the mail.
Yeah.
More than a gay man, but I do. I know about guys. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, there's also a Microsoft product placement in this video.
This lady trying to hunch over Angela.
Look
trying,
at her.
They're trying to make her look like a fun millennial just chilling.
I know.
And it's like, this is not.
She looks like when Frank dressed up as the trash man. Like, that's her body. You know what I mean? I'll eat garbage.
She looks like she was walking a hot parking lot all day, too. With bare feet. Dirty foot.
She looks like she robbed the Tommy Bahamas. You know what she's dressed like? She's dressed like the cover of a John Tesh album.
Her house looks like every Airbnb in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. It's decorated exactly like every beach house in North Carolina.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Patty.
How much you want to bet she has a jar of sand in the bathroom, like decorative sand?
You're right,
You know,
though.
you know exactly.
It says Key West, Florida.
Oh,
on it.
exactly.
Really, man? Like this
2010. That's her picture in a cool leather jacket.
83. Fascinating older beauty is seeking a steady.
I took like 3 years off because guys don't really like 86-year-old women.
All right, this isn't her. This is Milo in 20 years.
Milo in 5 years if he keeps it up.
Younger friend.
Shout out
Look
to
at that.
Microsoft.
Look at that bod.
Holler.
Are you not going to check? Look at that hot
Don't
bod.
get me wrong. Look, for an 80-something-year-old
believe you're
lady,
still here,
you
bro.
you look healthy. You know what I mean? You look like, look, I know 83-year-old. I know 70-something-year-olds that are like,
Okay, let's get this guy.
and they're just done.
We're going for the kill.
To look like this when she gets older because she means he's healthy. You just don't want to.
We killed the horde.
Yeah, no.
Fuck
if
you.
your grandma looked like this, and she's like, tonight, me and my friends, we're going to Benihana. And we're going to go out, we're going to see Cirque du Soleil. And you're like, my grandmother's life rules.
Somebody's
Good
a
for
good
her.
point. We should fucking hook her up with politics suck guy.
But like when she
Power couple.
But when she, you know what I mean? It's like one thing to be like,
Fuck the horde.
For, me and my friends are going to have a dinner party. And you're like, how cool. My grandma's still out and at it, enjoying life. It's another to be like, I'm on Tinder trying to get dicks. Grandma, stop.
Lover for a
Grandma's
shared life
gross.
of adventure and passion.
Your grandma's a
protest
hoe.
She still
and no
dresses
play.
like it's the 40s.
Sorry. You got to hear this part. This is for what a Tinder bio says.
Beauty is seeking a steady, younger friend, lover for a shared life of adventure and passion. No pro-Trump? and no players.
What? No pro-Trump.
No pro-Trump?
It's...
And no players.
But by the way, this whole Trump thing at this point, it's not just marketing. It's not just hip culture. People, it's just not just hip to hate Trump. It's not that. No, he's really a bad man.
It's... First off, nothing she does is hip except for her fake hips that she has. Like, that's the only hip.
But she's like trying to emulate what she thinks young people do.
Oh, dude, her fucking eyes right now look like closed lips.
Of course, yeah, you're right. Even the haircut.
Whole culture.
I thought old people were always super pro-Trump.
You're all so cringe.
Look at the haircut. She even has one of those fucking Suicide Girl haircuts.
Yeah, but it looks more like
she cut her own hair.
Looks like John Hickman.
It looks like she cut it with a malfunctioning Flowbee.
Do you only date younger men?
Well, first of all, most men my age aren't around anymore. Older
Maybe take the hint.
men are...
Maybe understand that life's about more than this fucking dick shit.
I know this is a small thing, but look at her phone and look how she has her apps arranged. Look at her phone. It's just she's
Those apps. You got 4.
the email thing thrown there, contacts over to the right, a couple like Bumble and Tinder.
You're right.
But they're sporadically thrown. It's almost like she shouldn't be using this technology.
It's like a jitterbug.
Yes. You know when you get a phone with Metro PCS or one of or Boost,
It's
tell
the
you,
default
you
apps.
get a Samsung, but it's not like an S10, it's like a J10 or a Q10. It's not the right letter.
Or sometimes it just says get a free smartphone.
Exactly.
That's always
Touchscreen.
the worst one because that one they're not beholden at. Just oh, what do you got? The LG from 2008. Give them that.
It's
Gives
fine.
a shit.
worried about aging, and that makes sense.
Somebody
I'm
just
worried
pointed
about
out it's a mint condition S4.
Mike, her boombox not only plays CDs, but it plays tapes.
This really feels like I'm looking at a beach
An
rental.
Airbnb. It's an Airbnb. It's every Airbnb in the South. You're right, because everyone in South Florida looks like this. Anyone by a beach, Key West Airbnb.
About aging. Everyone is worried about aging.
Do you think she has a combo DVD VHS in the living room like our Airbnb did in
I
Hollandale?
like to take things off the TV sometimes still.
Jag?
I don't know how to do it with the new computers.
But a younger guy is not thinking aging. They're not afraid. Well, sometimes they'll lose an erection because something goes wrong, but
Something goes wrong.
What goes wrong?
You.
Like they suddenly realized.
What am I doing?
Realized that the time-space continuum is really a thing, and they just were grossed out.
mostly they're not concerned that they're not going to be.
Sometimes it's because Sam Beckett leaped into somebody's body.
Yeah, sometimes it's because they start asking her questions about the Great Depression and the Nazis, and she doesn't answer them properly.
Be hard, and they're not going to be able to deliver for the woman. And younger men, I mean, a while now, they get off on getting a woman off. Very different from when I was younger. I've been on Tinder for about 8 months.
And I fucked 500 guys.
I like the ones with.
And you know, look, we obviously shit on women a lot because you deserve it. But now I meant to sometimes have to be a little bit fair. The dudes that are fucking her are
the worst human
garbage.
beings.
Yeah, they're garbage. You're all garbage. Like the dudes, because we can sit here and we go, wow, look how crazy it is. But the only reason this story's a thing is because dudes are fucking her. Like, and young dudes are fucking her.
And look, I think we've all had a cougar at some point in our lives.
Yeah, no, and not a saber tooth though, Mike.
But not a fucking, not a preserved fossil.
Yeah, this is,
Yeah,
come
you know
on,
what I
man.
mean?
There's decent cougars.
You could start Jurassic Park from what's in her socks.
And smiles, and that look healthy. See, now this guy says he's
Monkas.
57. He's probably
Something's going
26.
wrong.
I can't see the
57.
picture because it's blurred out, but just looking at the bottom of his face, that guy's 57. You just have no concept of age anymore.
Yeah, you're like Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, you don't know.
You just don't know anymore.
Yeah.
What's happening in front of you, what happened in the past, what's going to happen in the future.
It's all muddled.
You're that old now.
It's all muddled.
But he purposely does that. Now this guy, this guy.
How dare you laugh at anybody on Tinder, by the way?
With his mother. So I don't think that that's a good
I
His
want this
mother's
fucking
alive.
older men, a lot of their life's work.
Why shouldn't I
has
just kill
already
this
been
fucking
achieved.
horn guy right
I
now?
love younger men because they're in the middle of an
Yeah, I should just
achievement,
fucking
of a
kill this
goal.
guy.
There's the
What would
excitement.
he-
of
You
They're
want
not
to be
gonna
their
die
biggest
me, right?
right?
They're not gonna die soon.
Yeah.
I should just fucking kill him.
creating. I'm
Let him get
still
away.
creating, and I'm still moving forward on.
What are you
Shit.
creating? Nothing. Besides fucking nightmares. What is it?
Besides, besides nightmares.
Yeah. What are you creating?
my life goal, and it's exciting. Oh, look, he came up. Okay, so let's see what he looks like. They love giving organs.
It's a Russian bot farm.
What's going on?
You know how many guys swipe right because of the goof? Too? There's got to be a goof factor too, where there's some guys are like, all right, this can't be real. I got to see. Also, the guys that are running into her, what's your age filter on Tinder? Like, you have it up to 100?
I love getting them. So now I have
It goes.
steady-
Tinder goes
Yeah,
like
it doesn't even
65
set
plus.
it. By the way, if you have your age filter set that high, you had to set it that high.
Yeah,
It
it's
doesn't
not
default to
manual,
that.
yeah.
It defaults to a certain group,
Yeah.
and it's not.
It's not
It
fucking
doesn't.
100.
I didn't mean to put it that way. I have a steady selection of young men.
Ah!
This tall guy from Ecuador, he was attracted to me. So I said, okay,
And he wanted a green card.
let's go. So we go to my
He
apartment.
said, "Let's go fuck at the Justice of the Peace." And I said, "Why do you want to go there?" It was very weird.
He told me to sign a paper. I didn't know what it was.
And then after I said to him, by the way, how old are you? And he says, 19. And I,
That's hilarious. You ruined somebody who's still basically a child. You evil witch.
and I didn't know he was 19 because I probably
And by the
wouldn't
way,
have gone
she's
to-
looking younger
That
right
became
here
hot
because
if
she's
I
wearing
knew.
the Melisandre necklace. Once she takes it off, she's even
even
older. Yeah, it's crazy.
She's just dust.
Yeah.
Okay, so my feet are in, and I lie back.
Somebody just said Anthony Cumia's mom just came back to
This
haunt
provides
him.
circuit.
Which is, no, that's fucked up because that actually kind of looks like Ro.
It does.
That's just mean, sir.
Relation for everything, and it takes all the stress off.
This is good. That is a great. I just love this.
That's it.
I love this this scenario now that's been put out into the ether of Anthony Cumia's mother comes back from the dead as a zombie to fuck young guys and act exactly like him and just make him disgusting.
Oh, you're right.
Come back and just pound Bud Lights and eat Xanax and just fuck young dudes and bite them and shit. Get their guns taken away. Be like, all right, mom, you win. Stop.
Logical.
I skip forward a little bit here.
surgical
I wanted to get into the
and
date.
it's called a heartectomy. And what you do is you cut the connection between your heart and your and then, fine.
What
Isn't this like
the fuck is she wearing?
What do you think? What Extreme Love is doing is elder abuse?
what it is this woman probably she obviously got no kids. She chose a life that was probably
She
very
must have some
meaningless.
neurological degenerative disease.
And if you don't have a family, you can't be prevented from embarrassing yourself. We're doing
No one's there help stopping you. Yeah.
like at some point we just kind of destroyed the nuclear family as a whole, and anybody that doesn't come from one ends up either this lady or fucking this lady. You know what I mean? It's just fucked, man. Nobody's around to go, Grandma, stop.
You like this?
Grandma, no. Grandma, no.
That's gonna be eating her face one day.
I'm comfortable. I'm not wearing underwear though. Okay, I'm all right now.
That hairstyle.
Tell me about the day you have coming up tonight.
His name is Sean.
Sean agreed to be on camera.
You a nine, girl.
Be proud about
Oh
this.
man,
This is gonna.
it looks like Big Boy's son.
Of course it is. It looks like one of the guys that would have been in the cast of Straight Outta Compton. Like not any of the original NWA members, but he just looks like
Somebody in
that
the
would
Death
have
Row
played-
studio. Yeah.
He looks like the guy. He looks like somebody who would have played MC Ren.
We'll eat. We'll talk. We'll probably kiss. We'll see. But it's sweet. Beauty, bye, sweetheart.
Yeah, so you paying,
Bye,
right?
honey.
You know,
Hell yeah. Yeah, we
coming
going to
back.
Applebee's.
And I'll probably give him a massage, and he's going to give me a massage. So there is the intimacy. Whether or not something will happen, I don't really know.
Oh, you're planning on it. You're wearing your underwear. Grandma, no.
Look at the walk. It's even an old lady walk.
FaceTime, have you ever done it before?
Hi, Mom. Oh my God, you were wrong. She has kids.
I take it back.
She has. Yeah, look. She has kids, Mike.
Ooh. Okay. This is a whole separate level of.
I'm not, you know what, man? Look, I'll eat shit when I'm wrong. I was wrong. But it seemed like she had all the indicators.
Before?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I'm only a mother. What should I know? But anyway, darling, so we're standing in front of the
Her daughter's kind of young for her to be in her 80s. Did she have her daughter when she was 63?
restaurant.
Your
And
daughter
this
looks
guy
30. She had her
I
daughter when
asked
she was
a
40.
bunch of questions. So I said, are you married? He said no. I said, are you gay? He said no. I said, are you an addict? He said no. I said, will you go on a date with me? He said yes. So here I am.
Sounds like a fun date.
So are you ever embarrassed about me? Safe travels.
No, not once. Once you told me you were in a dorm at NYU, and that I thought was pushing the limit.
The NYU guys, right?
So we blame the daughter, right?
Oh God, I've eaten that.
What place is this?
I don't remember the name of it. That red door
This
thing.
is actually one of my first experiences with an older woman. Such as that.
Well, why don't you fucking start at like 40?
Yeah, work your way up, man.
You ease your way into the fucking, this is a just dive in the pool kind of guy, right?
I say this is a fantasy just because I haven't been too in tune with the older crowd as such. But yeah, I would consider it a fantasy.
Okay, I'm good.
I've definitely eaten it. This is one of those places where you get like a fucking, $17 Cobb salad and it's not even good.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You're like, what's the point? I don't mind paying outrageous prices, but I want, delicious truffle butter on my steak. Like, yeah, this is.
Is it near? It looks like it's probably near Midtown, right?
This is a kind of a touristy trap.
Yeah, yeah.
How are you?
I wonder if this were real life too. You know how many people would come up and go, "Ma'am, is he bothering you?"
Yeah, you're right.
Stop asking our customers for money.
I told you to get out of here.
I'm actually here on a date with this lady.
Oh, it's so bad.
I would pay somebody to go up to them and say that if I were in that restaurant. Go up to them and be like, "Hey, stop bothering our customers asking for money."
Look at her arthritic fingers about to touch him.
I said, one
She
man
looks like
for
Schmiegel
my
when he picked up the ring.
dead, one man for my everything. Didn't happen.
Back when I was young, you had to sit at a different part of the bar.
Somebody says, "Are you about to rob her?" That's actually kind of funny. Could you imagine if this guy met her on Tinder and was planning on robbing her?
And then
He
the
shows up
camera
with
crew
the
there,
camera crew there.
and now he has to do the date.
Oh no, I'm stuck. Look, gotta be honest with you. Look, man, I was gonna rob this lady, okay? And I didn't do anything yet, so I could still leave. But I wasn't gonna fuck her. He just leaves.
So I miss making love.
Which is crazy because you're an amazing person. So.
Oh,
yeah, somebody missed
yes,
out.
amazing.
She keeps touching him.
Most I like about Hattie was her bubbling personality and how genuine she is.
Oh, he
Jump on that shit, bro.
She's just a people person. The date went well. It's an interesting dynamic.
Are you gonna say I'm too low
coming
level
from
because
what
I'm level
used to.
37 too?
But
Is that what you're gonna
all
say?
in all, I would say it was pretty cool. It was a good
She
experience.
She paid?
Probably.
She's definitely an interesting person. You
I got
have
an
no
invite.
choice but to run into Hattie. This was fun. This was fun.
TC in the chat, I'm sorry. This is one of the funniest things I've ever. This might be one of the funniest comments I've ever read in history. It's like getting grabbed by a deskinned Terminator.
Oh. A T-800?
A deskinned Terminator.
Holy crap.
Mean. It's mean.
It's just cold and metallic.
Hard, cold
Sean
fingers.
is an absolute darling. So
He didn't fuck her.
You didn't fuck her.
He didn't fuck her.
he's a.
I don't think
I think he really was gonna rob her.
that, or I think that he really didn't think the camera crew was going to be there.
Yeah.
I could get you to sign a release on the spot.
Yeah, you're of course. Yeah, of course.
Very sexual man. I'm a very sexual woman, and there is no.
What if
sense of
she's an
whether or
incel?
not-
Her?
What if she's just lying about getting all this dick? What
And
if
she's not getting any dick?
What if literally nobody's fucking her? Like they have
She
these
just
pickup
acts
artist
like
types
she's
that I
getting
think are
so much.
lying half the time anyway. Like Roosh V and all those guys.
Right.
What if she's an old lady masquerading as this? Yeah, I'm just out here getting all these dicks, and like nobody's fucking her.
Nobody.
And then she even was like, I'm gonna be on the show and I'm gonna show them how much dick I get. And then on the show, she doesn't even get the dick.
Wait until one of these guys' boys sees the video and they start fucking with him. Let's see here. OJ's white bra. Already read that. Side salad. Thanks for the show, guys. $20. Thank you. Derek J. $2. That woman was a great villain from Emperor's New Groove. That's not a bad reference. All right,
So,
guys.
I agree.
Let's move on here to.
Okay. I think they're done with the segment,
I'm
bro.
trying to put anything on that's gonna
You
be
should
too
subscribe
fucking
and like
annoying.
to help me out, just so other
I feel like
people
today's a
might see
good
the
day.
channel. You know, small
And,
independent
most of the
streamers
stuff that we do
help
is,
a brother out.
Anger inducing? Oh, I got one.
We got more segments,
So, Mike,
though.
we got a lot of people's takes yesterday, right? About 9/11, our own. You know, every single celebrity,
Moment of
every
silence.
single boomer, every single news station.
Moment of silence.
But you know who we didn't get?
Tragedy.
And I missed this. I feel bad that we didn't get to this. Thomas Murphy, our friend Thomas Murphy, had some takes on 9/11, and he's mentioned 9/11 in his videos before. This is Thomas Murphy's 9/11 video, and he's very insightful.
Oh God, I looked at the rest.
Why'd you look at the title? You should look at the title because now he's going to ruin the amazing things that Thomas has
I
to.
don't think it's gonna ruin or diminish it in any way, though, Royce.
All right.
Today is a horrible day, and also, it made me like today. You should watch that movie called Air Force.
Okay, YouTube, we know you got to make it.
Air Force One.
United 93.
That was way before.
No, Air Force One.
Is that about? Was Air Force One about?
You'll see. He has a reason. It's a good reason.
It's me, Thomas, and today is a horrible day, and also, it made me like today. You should watch that movie called Air Force One. That was way before September 11th was not as tight. Before September 11th, like on the aircraft, yes. And also there's that line that says, "Get off this plane."
Yes, it didn't ruin it at all. I didn't know he was gonna do that. I didn't know he was gonna give us a riff tracks.
Yes,
he gave us a riff tracks.
Get off this
Get off my plane.
The president said it to the terrorists, throwing him off. Get off this plane.
Get off.
Comment down below if that's true.
Get off my.
Comment down below if that's true.
It's not true. It's actually-
Comment.
It was actually get off my plane.
Below that's true. People have already corrected him, by the way. Don't worry.
And you know what his
Everyone's nice to him,
and
though.
I know, but the way his mind works, you know, that's gonna eat at him. He's gonna sit there and practice now for a good day and a half. He's gonna sit there.
For next 9/11.
Get off my plane. It was get off this plane. No. Get off my plane.
It's my
Get
plane.
off my plane. An hour.
The voice said, "Get off this plane." Before September 11th was not as tight. But now, like on the cockpit door on the Air Force One, they have the reinforced steel. Like it can only be opened from the controls section of the cockpit, not the other side. So that way they cannot hijack the aircraft. And also, September 11th, 2001, the plane crashed the first tower, and the other one crashed the second tower. I think all the flight attendants did die. Yes.
He thinks.
Look,
do me a favor. Comment down below if that's true.
You want me to? Can I look that up?
Yeah, it's like his third video.
No, not the video. He asked a question.
Oh, okay.
He thinks all of the flight attendants
You
died.
Googling it?
Yes, Thomas.
They did?
They were all instantly evaporated into pulverized into nothing else. Yes.
The male and female.
Could you imagine if one lived? The fucking story.
Dude, I don't even know what happened.
I don't know what happened either. I just flew out a window and then slid down, and here I am.
I think all the flight attendants did die, yes. Mhm.
What the
male and
fuck?
female ones. And I think all the luggage is gone. Like, they put
Oh my fucking god!
It's great because, you know, everybody's always focusing on the same bullshit. But, you know, Thomas, he's asking the questions
That we're all thinking.
that we're all thinking. And,
What happened to the luggage?
and I think all the luggage was destroyed.
You know what didn't burn up? Passports.
the lower part of the plane.
And all of the luggage was destroyed, and that was the real tragedy. Yes. Comment down below if that's true.
That's true.
It can only be opened from the outside, yes. Once that door to the luggage compartment is sealed, yeah. I think it's cold down there, yeah. Where the luggage is in the
He thinks it's cold where the luggage compartment is.
aircraft.
I learned that
It
from
is.
a movie, Con Air. Yes.
Yes. Yep, it is. It's a horrible day today. It is.
Is it, though? Everyone says that every year, and I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, the original 9/11 was, but I think today is pretty comparable compared to that.
Better, great compared to that day.
So maybe today's a terrible day, and I'm like, no. September 11th, 2001 was a terrible day. But I think September 11th in general, fall start, temperatures come down. I mean, if you live up in New York, you can already start smelling some dying leaves. It's a nice smell.
But nowadays, yeah, security is tight, yes, after that. And also, like, they have a control thing, like, that makes the plane go fast. I think it's like this. Yeah. Then it
He
goes
is
very
in a
fast.
playground.
It goes like what?
Like that.
Like that.
And the landing gear is, like, with a lever, yes, on the panel right there.
That has to be their break room. Because he's got lockers in there. Why would you have lockers in your house?
I'm thinking that wherever he lives at a place where he pays for a room and they have a common area.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you're right. Like shared bathroom for the
Yeah.
hallway,
uh-huh.
shared kitchen.
That's what I
area.
think it is, yeah.
And, is there anything else I want to say? Oh, yeah. It's going to be a hot day, and also, yeah. I'll still have my job, nonetheless, even though, yeah. I got into, like, little stuff right here.
What did you do?
And also, yeah, I work today, and tomorrow I get paid. When I get off work at 3 p.m., I'm making out the rent check. That's exactly what I'm going to do. You cannot live in the house for free. Nope, you have to pay.
Somebody's been late before.
Yeah, well, many times. Most of his videos are him being late.
That's right. And, is there anything else I want to say?
Oh, yeah.
And also,
I think we gotta take up a little collection for old Thomas here.
I'm 100% on board.
A couple bucks.
I'm
not gonna
100%
go nuts
on board.
for his retard, but I think it's
No,
nice.
we'll help him out.
Send him a little nice fucking. Let him go out and have a nice fucking dinner.
He loves steak dinners, remember?
You know, a nice steak dinner and go hug a girl in a swimsuit.
In a swimsuit bikini. I've had several ROTC girls that say they would allow Thomas to hug them while they're wearing a swimsuit bikini.
The cute ones or Lagos or which ones?
Some.
next time you travel,
I didn't answer either one. Some.
I'm not going to be
You
pigeonholed
having
in
a
anything, my
stroke?
friend. No.
that was the kind of answer.
Some.
That was the kind of answer you give somebody when you're having a stroke in the middle of a meeting. What is that, Mr. Lopez? Some. Is he okay?
Oh, yeah. And also, the next time you travel, like on the aircraft, yes, do not put your hands on a flight attendant.
Oh no! What did you do?
Oh, Thomas.
What'd you do, Thomas?
Thomas doesn't say things that he hasn't already tried. That's
what I love about it is he says these emphatic things and you know something's happened, but he never tells you the story.
Yeah, he kind of.
I still want to know why we avoid Uncle David.
Yeah, why do you avoid Uncle David? Please let us know.
Do not put your hands on a flight attendant.
Comment down below if that's true.
That can get you like kicked off an airplane. Yes, kicked off an aircraft. That happens a lot sometimes.
To me.
To you. To you.
And the place sometimes, the captain wants you off the plane. They want you off the plane.
No.
Yes. That's what happens. And what else am I gonna say? Oh yeah. It's gonna be hot Thursday and Friday, so Friday I'm gonna be off. I'm gonna go take out my cans to the Sims Metal Management East San Jose. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. So, sorry.
His tooth hurts, you could tell, and he hasn't mentioned it, but he has mentioned of a couple of videos he has a dentist appointment coming up.
I guess we're going, so yeah. I guess we're going, so I'll see you later on. So, bye!
Bye! Now, OJ's White Bronco, who is just really good, made this video.
Really
now,
good at sucking dicks.
I'm gonna say this.
Shit.
I've watched this video a few times, and it's cool. It's funny, but I'm gonna say this. It's eerily beautiful to me. I really enjoyed this, so I'm just gonna play it for you guys. So it's Thomas spinning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone that both.
Yeah.
Someone that both. That's true. Yeah. Someone that both.
Yeah.
Someone that both. That's true. Yeah.
Today it's been 4 years since I hugged Lisa and she wore some bikini. Yes.
I hope Thomas
and
doesn't
she wore
snap
some
someday, because then we're gonna be just.
No, this is great. This is such a. I think this is awesome. Actually, this song.
Oh, it's a great song. I'm just saying. I just hope Thomas doesn't snap someday.
Because then we're gonna be blamed.
Because they're gonna be like, who memed this person? Like,
oh, I know who. OJ's White Bronco.
The spree killer who already had an entire album of music produced by Revenge of the Sis, the alt-right comedy podcast on YouTube. Fucking, I can already see Joe Bernstein's dick just getting hard. Oh, look at Jared Holt. Like, yeah, just hope none of our crazies go crazy.
Someone that both. That's true. Yeah.
Today it's been 4 years since I hugged Lisa and she wore some bikini. Yes. And she wore some bikini. The person used to work here as an assistant manager and was covered in tattoos. Yeah. Was covered in tattoos. And she had her daughter and they went to the beach. Yes. Yeah. It was on this day today. And also, yes.
Someone that both. Someone that.
Do you know?
All right, that's the end of that shit. I refuse to watch YouTube originals.
They're gonna suspend this guy. Can I give you my take on? Competed in 4 events at a swim competition. She swam in and won a heat during the meet, but a race official deemed that her swimsuit had shifted into a position. Why can't we have footage on this? That showed too much of her backside. We can't say ass in the article. The official said Brecken's team-issued swimsuit didn't fit her properly, and thus violated a rule. Whatever. Do we have? I have video written down. I don't even know what it is. What do we got, Chase? Did I send you video? Up! What are they talking about? This is her warming up. Fits perfectly. Who was the goddamn judge that ruled that disqualification? What, Richard Simmons hanging by the... For the love of Pete. That's how a bathing suit should fit, for the love of... Can we see that again in slow motion?
No.
It's also seeking to suspend the rule, calling it ambiguous according to this state. They're going to suspend this guy. Can I give you my take on this? Because they have rules. What's happening is students, they say, swim athletes, they're pulling their bathing suits up to show they're both male and female. I wonder who started that, what segment of the population. And so they have a rule. This guy's doing his job, right? I think he's protecting her, saying, her ass is hanging out. I mean, he's following the rule that's written, yet they're going to go after him. This whole story, once again, the girl's the victim, and it's so unfair, and which is absolutely, he's doing his job. I don't understand why they're coming after him. If that's the written rule.
realistically, he's supposed to die in prison. Things could change. Yes, I'm hopeful for that. Yes, I hope and pray that all of that happens. But I can't live with that every day because that's just too much of a burden.
What the fudge is this?
Baby, the words on this card say a lot because without you, my life is not complete. You are my world, the love of my life, and I cherish you, honey, daily. I long for the day when I can be with you all the time and just live our life.
Oh, God.
I think your husband tried. He's the type you want your daughter to date, except for where he's at. And that's okay. You don't want your daughter's date to be in prison, but other than that, he's a really good guy. You know, we all make mistakes.
Oh, this is sad.
January 3rd, and I'm married to a man who's doing life without the possibility of parole for 2 murders that he did not commit.
2 murders he did not.
At the time of Travis's initial...
It's a little too extreme for me.
In the words of Peter Pan, I never want to grow up.
Can I put it on the fridge? Hooray!
I'm a little and he's my daddy.
The end.
Oh, no. Woo! Okay, this one I feel a bit more okay about because they're all... At least there's 2 people. It's not as sad. The other one made me feel depressed.
A fantastic farm where ashes grow like wheat.
This one I can feel mad at least. I can be like, oh, God.
Where ashes take the form of houses and chimneys and rising smoke, and finally, with a transcendent effort,
I can point at my wife and be like, why do you look just like her, Sarah?
The power of dreary air.
Oh!
Peppa and Emily Elfrant like to share their toys with each other.
Go ahead, little girl.
My name is Max, and I'm 20, but not really, because I'm 5.
Oh, what the?
The rain stopped. You want to go to the park?
Yeah.
Yeah? You want to go to the park?
Because you're off, and I have a daddy
This is
baby
too
baby.
spicy for me.
Let's get a jacket on.
Okay. And shoes.
Stop it, you guys. Come on, act
Also,
your
I'm
age.
gonna take Moana.
Literally, act your age.
DDLG, by definition, is Daddy Dom Little Girl, and it is a subsection of BDSM, which is a part of kink. I was just discovering things about the community.
Okay, hold on. She acts like a little girl when they do it. That's interesting. Oh, there's already a fucking mage here. How many we got here? We AoEing this shit down? Looks like it.
Community, learning a bit more about it, I decided to try it out, and I've just loved it ever since. It's just me.
I'm a pizza.
How about you try something normal? Never mind. You're an adult. Do whatever you want.
There are a lot of people in the community that do this sexually, and I'm not one of those people. This is a completely non-sexual lifestyle.
Okay. Yep. You stop acting like that when you're... Okay.
The way Max first told me that she was part of this lifestyle, she had shown me the videos that she was watching, and she showed me a sippy cup and that she was eating these baby snacks, and I think that's when we had the conversation about it.
I can step in a puddle.
Oh, what the...
DDLG subset, but
just carries around a doll.
For a lot of people, it's non-sexual. And like for us, it's
yeah.
non-sexual.
Oh yeah, you gotta keep emphasizing that.
Really
Non-sexual, non-sexual, non-sexual. It's the most non-sexual thing you guys will ever see.
Going to the park. Oh!
Did I pull those fucking guys?
I'm little
Stop
a lot
squealing.
of the time, especially when we're at home, when we're just relaxing and I'm with him. I'm little when I want to be. I'm little when it's right to be. But of course, it's not something that like I can't control. Like if we're out in public, you know, I don't just randomly like shout "daddy" because that's involving other people in something that they didn't consent to.
Okay, stop, I'm sick.
What the oh my god, there's random people listening.
Oh no, my socks are wet. Yeah. Oh, they're very wet now.
Oh god. Stop.
I'm not a big kid. Yes, I am.
My dom, my daddy, takes care of me, but I also take care of him.
Daddy, why do you use the same
And I think
fucking
having
words
that
as the
nurturing
sexual
aspect
community?
to the relationship really makes it strong.
Thank you, Papa. Kiss.
Oh god, I'm glad this is short. I can't handle it anymore. He's not my grandpa, he's my real life vampires. I inspired my parents to be polyamorous.
Being in a polyamorous relationship, it's like the more like love, the more vibes, the different energies. It's like exciting. It's really special. I think I have inspired my family, even my parents, to think about it.
I'm definitely curious about it. I keep bringing it up, I keep talking about it, and I think she's starting to open up to the idea a little bit.
We make it look easy.
They have matching shirts? What's going on here? I'm just an old boomer man. I don't know. I don't understand this stuff. Are you young kids?
So Chacha and I got together in 2008. 3 years later, we met Summer,
At a concert, and we've been together now for 6 years.
going on to 7.
So the red one's yours, and the green one's yours. In our case, managing in one bed is easy for us. But when we do go to like hotels, we usually have to either like put the two beds together. We get like
Chacha and I went to the same Catholic school, but nothing really happened during that time.
After we graduated from high school, we just re-met and we clicked on a different level. I
Should
knew
do
there
some, like,
was
some
some
bigger
interest
AoE
in
polls, bro.
girls, at a young age.
When me and Jimmy were dating, I felt that it would be appropriate for me the fact that I loved.
it was really early on. We were at a bar, and she looked at me and she goes, "I gotta tell you something. I was like, okay. Okay, that sounds amazing to me. I like girls too. It's
Okay. That's great. I can't. This is painful. I'm gonna go drink.
Let the jury decide on whether or not they're.
I'm drinking, you jerkwads. Very nice. I got this AoE fucking murder right here. You were like one of the leaders of the fan backlash.
PewDiePie has announced he is rescinding his offer to donate to the Anti-Defamation League after a fan backlash.
You were one of them.
Bravo. I was upset. I was offended. I thought PewDiePie was selling out, and no, he just doesn't understand. I guess it's kind of fair, but he's gonna backtrack. A lot of people were outraged. I'll give you the quick context. They alleged a conspiracy that he was being blackmailed. In the past, the Anti-Defamation League has tried to get PewDiePie censored, and so the fact that he would give them money was a huge mistake. Not only that, the ADL has caused massive collateral damage to tons of smaller YouTubers, including myself. I say smaller, I know this channel is like, it's not the smallest channel in the world, but I'm not 100 million subscribers like PewDiePie. The ADL, while it's from parts of his fan base. In a video uploaded today, Shellberg said that he didn't know much about the ADL when he made the pledge. It was only after uploading the video and seeing feedback about the organization that he admitted he didn't know a lot of things that surfaced throughout this whole thing about the charity. He made the original announcement during an unboxing of a special YouTube play button to celebrate surpassing 100 million subscribers. Quote, "I made the mistake of picking a charity that I was advised to, instead of picking a charity that I'm personally passionate about," Shellberg said, which is 100% my fault. Shellberg previously addressed the criticism against his donation in a recently deleted tweet, which we have, acknowledging that, quote, "making a donation to the ADL doesn't make sense to everyone, especially since they've outright spoken against me." A spokesperson for the ADL told The Verge at the time that they learned about the potential donation when everyone else did, when he made the announcement on his channel yesterday. The original announcement about his donation to the ADL comes after Shellberg stated he wanted to move past his former controversies. Okay, well, they say he's still going to donate $50,000, which he received as a sponsorship from Honey. He hasn't announced which charity will receive the money, but he said his plans to take he plans to take his time with it. So apparently The Verge reached out, but here's the original comment. So I gotta say this. I think Honey sponsored his video, but additionally, he had to make a donation to the ADL because of the controversies. When the fans got outraged, PewDiePie tried defending himself. It wasn't enough. He backtracked. Based on the statement where he said that, he's donating to the ADL, which doesn't make sense. He wanted to show people that he was moving on. It says to me that he knows, what the controversy was, and he knows about the ADL. Now he's claiming he didn't know a lot about it. I kind of don't believe it. But you know what, man? If your fans are mad and you decide you're going to, okay, I can't do this, I didn't realize. I think it's fair to say he didn't realize he'd get a backlash. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done it in the first place. So that's fair. Here's what I said initially. The ADL has caused collateral damage to tens of thousands of small creators' livelihoods. PewDiePie is not being a bigger man. He's taking a payday and a milestone he reached thanks to the YouTube community. He then funds an organization that will get people in that community banned. Here's the thing. Okay. The ADL goes after a lot of channels. Many of them are breaking the rules. Some of them aren't. The ADL has gone after some channels that they do have bad opinions, but they didn't break the rules of YouTube, and YouTube has then gone and deleted them. Well, if you want to make an argument about hate speech and breaking the rules, I hear you. Even though I disagree, I believe free speech is more important. However, when my channel gets demonetized and deranked, and I actually agree with the ADL on fighting hate, but I just disagree with their tactics, well, that's a problem. If the ADL doesn't care about the smaller channels and the individuals, then they're not doing good. They're hurting the innocent. 17,000 channels were recently deleted by YouTube, in part because of the Anti-Defamation League campaign. While some of these channels, yes, are probably overt hate speech, again, different argument.
Fucking asshole! You're chewing on string!
A lot of them are jokes.
Are you fucking kidding me? Why would you do that?
Hate speech,
I didn't hit my cat, by the way.
And worse still, some of them are probably educational and historical channels, because we've seen that too. That's the kind of recklessness we see from the ADL. But it's not just that, because listen, I'm not gonna blame the ADL mostly because YouTube can't police things properly. Take a look at this story though. It says, well actually, hold on. I'm gonna do this first, because I got a couple stories. ADL calls on House leadership to take action after Rep. Omar's anti-Semitic tweets. I want to highlight this because this is something I think the ADL has done good. It's not just black and white. Some people got angry with me before. I don't care. I believe this is fair, important, and rational. The ADL has called out Ilhan Omar. That is respectable. They have called on House leadership to take action against her. That is respectable. You want to praise the good behavior and criticize the bad behavior. Telling people to denounce Omar's statements, I think, is the right thing to do. She can still make offensive comments if she wants, fine. They're just saying, hey, say something about it. But when they go after Iceland, this is where things get really weird. Iceland's proposed ban on circumcision rattles Jews and Muslims. This is the story. It's from 2018. This is just some NBC News to give you context. Iceland wanted to ban male circumcision. Okay. Banning is a bit strong, but I probably lean towards agreeing with it. It's a complicated issue. I'm not gonna come out like some, men's rights person and be like, end the, whoa, hold on. I definitely lean towards you shouldn't be doing this. So, I should say I heavily lean towards that, but I'm not, I don't know enough. That's the real issue. I understand the arguments to an extent. This is not my battle. I don't know much about this. What I can say is, I think we probably should not do this anymore. It seems a little archaic, but there are religious people who are upset, okay? And I understand they're upset, but I still disagree with them. Here's the thing. The Anti-Defamation League doesn't want Iceland to ban male circumcision. This is back in March 23rd, 2018. They said ADL urges Iceland drop bill banning male circumcision. Now, you may be asking, Tim, what does any of this have to do with PewDiePie? Listen. PewDiePie gave money to an organization that has caused harm to YouTubers. These YouTubers told all of their friends to subscribe to PewDiePie. By turning around and donating to the ADL, he's not just hurting YouTubers, he's promoting mafia-like tactics, perceived mafia-like tactics. Look at this story. How do you think the ADL tried to get Iceland to stop? It says, in a letter addressed to the parliamentary committee discussing the proposal, ADL CEO Jonathan Greenblatt said, the proposal to ban male circumcision is contrary to basic principles of religious freedom and deeply offensive to Jews and Muslims. The commandment of Brit Milah, circumcision on the 8th day, is a fundamental religious rite in Judaism and universally practiced by all families who identify as Jewish across the broad spectrum of practice. This is why I say it's not so cut and dry. I can actually respect a religious argument to an extent, though I am not a religious person and I tend to disagree with things like this. You've got to be careful about how you approach progress, in that sense. I'm talking about the left in this regard. It's complicated, and admittedly, I can't say I know enough to actually engage in this conversation. What I can point out is there's a link. I'm going to now click this link. It says in a letter. There you go. You watched me click the link and the letter loaded up. I didn't believe this was real. I kid you not. I saw this, and my reaction was, it must be fake. You know why? In this letter, they say don't ban male circumcision, but how do you think they try and entice Iceland to not do it? Well, here's what they say. ADL has studied the pervasiveness of anti-Semitic content on social media, and we know that a relatively small number of extremists are able to amplify their message quickly and broadly through social media. ADL regularly reports on such phenomena, and we will report on extremist praise for Iceland. We urge you to consider the significant media attention in the US and internationally paid to ADL reports on extremism. In the past 6 months alone, our research and experts have been featured on CNN and other cable TV channels, NBC and other broadcast TV, on 60 Minutes, the most watched TV news magazine in America, and in leading newspapers including the New York Times and the Washington Post. Given that 28% of Iceland's tourists came from North America in 2016, Iceland's standing in the US should be of great concern from an economic perspective. We are confident that the vast majority of American tourists will avoid a country whose reputation is associated with Nazism, even if that association is not justified. Individually, any of these three arguments should convince you to oppose a ban on male circumcision. Collectively, they should compel you to make the right decision and oppose the proposed ban.
Jesus
ADL said,
fucking Christ.
We will report on any praise that anti-Semites throw your way. And we're confident, even if the association isn't justified, it will hurt you economically. Doesn't that sound a bit mafioso? And that's why PewDiePie should not donate to the ADL. I didn't believe it was real. I told my friends, I said, it's not real, it's fake news. And then I saw this, adl.org. You can see it right up there in the browser. And this is a page on the adl.org. It's all there. And when you click the link they posted, they're straight up publicizing that they will smear you as a Nazi to destroy you economically. Smart move backing out PewDiePie. I got a couple more segments coming up in a few minutes. Stick around. I will see you shortly.
Amazing. Yo, Daniel the druggie, what's up, my friendy? Actually, that belt was an upgrade. What do we got here? Forgotten weapons. We got a guy eating a ration. We got building a tank. Oh yeah. Tell me how to build a tank. What was that license shit about? License stock. Huh. What's happening? I'm scared. Oh, okay. Feel better now. Office of Emergency Management. Emergency Management Film Unit. United States tax dollars, ladies and gentlemen.
A cornfield in 1940. Today, the world's greatest tank arsenal with more than 10,000 workers.
Don't play that after criticizing the ADL if you're just gonna knock on your door, fam. You're gonna get a knock on your door, fam.
On this track, 1 mile long and built in a figure 8, the products of the arsenal are tested.
I don't know what you mean. I don't even know what you're talking about,
The
Nathan.
onslaught against the Low Countries in France saw the great French army ill-equipped to deal with such an attack, paralyzed and slashed to ribbons by a new and terrible instrument, the tank. The rapid tactical move, the deep envelopment and pursuit, the exploitation of the breakthrough. Old words with a new import.
Tanks put an end to trench warfare. They're actually a lifesaver.
The tanks moved 150 miles a day deep into enemy territory, to the very heart of enemy resistance. Repeated the process day after day. The speed of the tank makes defense against it difficult. Anti-tank guns cannot be moved into position fast enough to be of use. The guns must be mounted on tanks of the same mobility and having the same protection as those attacking them. To make an invincible army...
Hey, you watch this shit too?
Trucks, planes, and tanks. Even hundreds
I've actually
of
seen that one before. I've seen that video before.
For these, we must go to the assembly lines of the nation. With the lessons of
Killdozer.
warfare in Europe plain to see,
Rip
a
Killdozer
tremendous
guy.
expansion of tank building capacity has taken place.
Killdozer was a hero.
Here in the Detroit Tank Arsenal, the world's first great tank arsenal devoted entirely to the mass production of the tank, we forged the armaments of victory. To wage a desperate war, the immense resources of our industrial plant and the incomparable skill of the American worker have mobilized to meet a supreme test. Under this vast roof, we create the rolling forts of armor steel, the fighting tank with great firepower.
Tell me
fitting
about the
American policy
cannons.
of aggressive mobile warfare.
Okay, in before
Production
diesel.
in factory and arsenal begins far behind the assembly lines. It starts with the machine. From drafting board and planning room come models, charts, drawings, blueprints, and designs. Designs for the lathe to machine the rotor ring of the cupola for easy rotation.
Cupola?
Giving the tank complete all-round firing range.
Oh, that's
Designs
the thing
for
sits
calipers
on.
and micrometers. Instruments
Cupola.
to test required tolerances, for the greatest precision is demanded. Here is the housing for the powerful 75s, a miniature fort having its own artillery to smash resistance as it blasts its way to the enemy rear. The tank, with its force and scope, is capable of carrying on a small war all alone.
Yeah, speaking of the Killdozer guy, I was watching a documentary about him. His camera broke, and that's why he had to stop, and then he killed himself. But he only was destroying government buildings. He was kind of mad that he didn't get more money, apparently, that for some property. That's what the story alleges. I don't know if I believe it or not. But yeah.
Here, the planer's rough-cut to wheel suspension on which the tank will be suspended. The heat of the tool against the armored steel. Hard, tough steel requiring good machine tools, tougher than the material they mill. 1,000 heavy automatic machines. 8,000 tools, gauges, and fixtures had to be designed, built, installed to get the tanks rolling. And thousands of workers had to be trained for exacting new skills, all paying willing tribute to a great tradition, to the long recorded
war
achievement
machine
of American gunsmiths, artisans, mechanics, to the tool builders of New England, New York, Philadelphia, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Detroit, Milwaukee, and the West.
Milwaukee.
From 1920 to 1935, around 30 tanks were built in the United States. These were all development or pilot tanks made for experimental purposes. The sudden creation of a vast citizen army and the lessons of warfare in Europe brought a great expansion of tank building capacity. But large as initial plans and orders were, these have been doubled and quadrupled in the face of world conflict. Today, the most advanced methods of industrial
Here comes white
production,
thighs.
the most modern in tool and machinery design, are joined together in an epic struggle to determine the destiny of free people everywhere.
Arise, my champion.
Again, precision is the watchword. An error of a hair's breadth may mean the difference between life and death, for 7 soldiers who will be called upon to man this giant of destruction. Teeth are cut into the cupola rotary ring. Motor-driven, the turret, of which this forms the base, will turn a
If I
complete
was
circle.
above me, I can still hit her.
A complete arc of withering fire can be shot from the 37mm gun soon to be mounted in it. Teeth 2 for the master gear, cut into hard, strong
Hey,
steel
who looted?
to mesh and drive the tank forward. These lend speed and bite to the attack. The modern tank is a complex mechanical marvel. Making of it involves the utmost ingenuity and correlation of manufacturing effort. We are building uncounted numbers of these machines, putting them to work, to labor with free men fighting for what they cherish.
Oh yeah, hi there.
Men and machines are the backbone of the crusade to rid the world of tyranny, the hope
Tyranny.
and promise of the future. Before actual manufacturing could begin, plant layouts had to be made, the necessary building space provided, the proper tools and other equipment brought together, materials requisitioned, procured.
Yeah, I've played Hearts of
assembled,
Iron 4, I get
all
it.
for the single purpose of making tanks. Giant multiple drills of sufficient weight and size to machine the heavy parts, boring dozens of holes in one downward motion, had to be designed and built. Here are the gears and flywheels of the punch press in one of dozens of departments, making parts which flow to the main assembly, into the finished tank.
Oh, okay. So
The
all the
oxygen
parts are
pantograph-
machined separately somewhere, and then you just assemble them somewhere else.
Torch, cutting out the sprocket gears that will guide the Caterpillar tracks. These are cut in triplicate. From spring 1940 to the 1941 Battle of Libya was only 18 months, but it was long enough for American mass production to fill our Army's first tank requirements and have some left for our allies.
Allies. Allies? Allies.
Now the waste metal sheet is removed. The material will be reclaimed, melted down, used again. The tips of the sprockets are flame hardened. Minimum weight is essential. It increases speed, gives additional mobility in difficult terrain. High alloy steels are used, which are heat treated to develop their full strength.
Look at this. They're heating up the teeth of the gears.
The standard of workmanship required is high. A vehicle must be built whose ultimate employment is the roughest usage.
Military grade.
A tank is expected to traverse rutted fields and tangled woods, splash across unbridged streams, have its full weight thrown upon itself. 28 tons of steel hitting solid earth at a speed in excess of 25 miles an hour and come through solid and steady and asking for more.
Asking for
Strength
more.
is the keynote, and to guarantee that strength, the master gear is oil quenched.
Master gear. These things, tanks only have one gear, I think. Less parts. More
Another
stable.
oil bath assures the hardness of the white suspension arms. Unlike the average industrial plant, evolved as changing requirements are met, the tank arsenal had to be planned down to the smallest detail. But from blueprints to finished plant, the job was accomplished in 7 months. Not only that, in this brief space of time, the first completely assembled tank was delivered to Army officials.
Who designed the tanks?
From hundreds of suppliers come steel, rubber, aluminum, and tin.
Aluminum?
Hub forgings, heavy gear, drive shaft, pinion, gas, oil, and electric gauges, helical
Pistons.
springs,
Engine
electrical
blocks.
panels, fuse boxes, and meters. From these vast stockpiles, materials flow to scores of sub-assemblies, reaching their proper places, each at the proper time. 10,000 parts, 20,000 parts, 30,000 parts. 30,000 parts to make one engine of destruction.
Ooh.
It begins to take form. Side wall and rear panel are mounted on the hull. The tank has no chassis.
That's
no
what I was about to
frame,
ask. Where's the chassis?
Only armor plate. Plate that furnishes protection from enemy fire and serves as structural frame as well. Overhead cranes support the great hydraulic riveters that meld the pieces by pressure alone.
Whoa. That's intense.
Dozens of tanks go together at one time, rolling from stage to stage on 3 production lines. The shield, the forepart of the tank, heavier plate armor than that of a destroyer to make a land battleship, a roaring, plunging vehicle.
That's
of
actually
death.
what they called
A weapon come of it.
the first tanks. Oh god, this guy's gonna fucking fight me. Oh come on, go do the thing. Into the fucking into the portal. Oh, it's gonna break. He's gonna attack me. All this guy wants. Alright, he's swinging at me now.
Stage, taking its proper place beside the airplane and the naval vessel. And here is the turret for the 75mm cannon.
Oh yeah, my point
The
was, I
wheels-
was gonna say that I think one of the Lord Admiralties of the British Navy. Churchill? Or the one before him, I forget, came up with the idea for the tank, calling it a land ship. That's my story.
Suspension. Later come the insulation, the operating levers, transmissions, oil and gas tanks, electric wiring, and piping instruments. The crane hoists the completed hull, moving it along the line where it will gather strength, power, drive.
Don't walk underneath it.
The final drive, built to withstand the shock of enemy fire, smash whatever obstacles it
Whoa,
meets.
it's an armor-plated
The greatest precision
axle.
is necessary to meet required tolerances. There can be no shims in fitting the engine supports. No mechanisms attached to the armor plate. The power plant, a radial-type air-cooled airplane engine.
Radial
The force
airplane.
of flying horses hitched to the earth, so that this weapon can run swiftly to the attack.
I gotta learn about radial type
Again,
engines.
the final drive, an instrument of terrible punishment. But wars are not won by absorbing punishment. They're won by giving it to the opposing forces. The engine fits into the rear of the machine, taking up surprisingly little room. Here is the pent-up force that will plunge the monster headlong into battle to deliver its staggering blows. The 37mm motor-driven revolving turret.
Oh yeah.
A fortress swinging a complete circle of raking fire, destined soon to shelter men, steel, and shrapnel, to hurl at the tyrant foe.
Look how well they machined it. It looks great.
Here, the claws of steel uncoil. The caterpillar track.
Claws of
Rubber
steel.
treads vulcanized on steel plates. The development of the caterpillar track is one of the essential mechanical advances that made the modern tank possible. It lies open on the assembly floor, waiting to draw on the huge body.
The train just kind of
It will
rolls
supply
onto it.
sufficient traction to enable the machine to operate over the roughest terrain. The giant's legs, the bogie wheels. Alignment on the final assembly line is maintained by letting these wheels run in a grooved track on the floor of the shop. The wheels run onto the treads.
Wait, turn
A
start it?
machine full grown at last, ready to roll off the front of the line under its own power. Ready to pull the next tank into place without a moment's pause.
How do you do maintenance on it?
30,000 separate parts covered by nearly 6,000 drawings go into the making of this backbone of the Army's striking power.
30,000 parts.
An American concept, an American accomplishment, representing the best integrated
30,000
experience,
parts.
ability, and intelligence of American industry and the American Army. The 75mm cannon adds to the tank.
I'm looking for a group right now for a dungeon.
Welcome to Periscope Film LLC.
Oh boy. What is this?
And when the challenge is successfully met, there's a real feeling of accomplishment. And this feeling persists even after several hundred landings.
When was this
Obviously,
filmed?
carrier operations do impose various different responses and requirements than land-based operations. But these conditions also offer certain advantages. The ship is moving away from the pilot as he approaches, and his closure rate on the ship is some 30 knots less than ashore. So he has more time to make corrections in his approach. His glide slope is shallower. There is seldom a crosswind. When he touches down, he is not concerned with stopping his aircraft. The arresting gear does the job. And if problems develop, the crash crew is standing by. As his experience increases, the pilot begins to feel that trapping aboard a carrier is preferable in many ways to landing ashore. Still, even with this confidence, backed by growing experience and accumulated skill, accidents do happen. The result is a tremendous waste of human life and material resources. More than half of all Navy aircraft accidents occur during shipboard operations. In many cases, the fault lies with the pilot. These accidents can be prevented by naval aviators who understand what causes mishaps and the actions required to avoid them. All accidents, except those involving materiel failures, can be prevented, or the carrier can have hip and friction lock. Track
I also want to see some plane crashes.
Are airborne. Some pilots fail to maintain the proper attitude off the bow. Consequently, they settle below flight deck level, sometimes into the water. In the case of an early braking holdback or bridle or launch bar failure, cut power to idle and try to stop the aircraft with brakes. If you can't stop, eject. Get out before going over the edge, while the plane is in the best attitude for ejection. On a soft cat shot, if your end speed is below minimum for your weight and configuration, eject while you can still hold the nose up. Realize that in these days of highly reliable catapults, most soft shots are pilot-caused by accepting an improper weight on the weight board. Know your minimum airspeed and set your bug.
He's prepared for the G-force.
Sometimes you may be able to jettison your external load to reduce weight and drag to maintain flight. If you're out of the envelope of your seat, jettison the canopy so it won't be damaged and fail to open underwater. Blowing a tire on the catapult is generally no problem on launch. Have the landing gear inspected by another aircraft or the tower. In extremes, for example, no rubber left on the wheel, you may have to make a barricade arrestment.
Do that every time. That seems like the safest way to go.
If your engine should fail during launch, eject immediately. Again, attitude and rate of descent are the governing factors in the decision to eject or ditch. There is always a possibility that the aircraft control systems can malfunction during a cat shot. If this happens, try to regain control, but realize you have very little altitude and airspeed to work with. Rudder, aileron, or nose trim may be your only means of control. Ejection may be the more prudent decision. The arresting gear, like all mechanical devices, has also been known to fail. If the arresting cable breaks or the arresting engine fails during rollout, you may be faced with an ejection situation. If this happens to you, you'll notice that you're essentially taxiing at a high speed toward the end of the angle. Before reaching the end of the flight deck, lose your brakes at night.
So this is the most popular video they have. Japanese atrocities in Guam. Never mind. There's too much pressure. I'm going back to Booty Bay. Everyone's messaging me. I don't want to do a group. Yeah, what do you want? What'd the Japanese do to in Guam?
Off the island of Guam, shelling Jap installations late one afternoon, about 2 weeks before the landing.
Jap installations?
Suddenly, we noticed strange light flashes from the peak of a nearby hill. The message in Navy code was baffling. I have information. What could this mean? We signaled the unknown party to advance to the beach. We suspected Jap trickery. Keeping our guns trained point blank on that strip of beach, the captain dispatched a boat which proceeded slowly to meet the person who had sent the signal.
It's trickery. It's trickery. Jap trickery.
It was a white man, a strange, unkempt figure, crying and laughing in his joy and excitement.
This has been trapped there for 3 months.
When he was able to talk, he identified himself as radio man George Tweed, United States Navy, the only survivor of the original garrison of Guam. Slowly, a strange story came out. How he took to the hills during the original Jap attack. How he lived alone in the jungle, changing his hiding place daily.
Get this man a
sometimes
meal.
hourly, for 31 months, while endless Jap patrols hunted him like an
31.
animal.
Oh my
Our
God! It's
courageous
almost 3
natives
years.
Smuggled him food and news and warnings of danger. Here was a Robinson Crusoe who had stood up alone against the whole Japanese empire.
Hollywood, make a movie out of this guy's fucking story. Are you shitting me? This is crazy.
When the destroyer with Tweed aboard rejoined the main task force, he was amazed by the size of the fleet, larger even than he'd hoped for during his 31 months of hiding. Battleships, cruisers, destroyers, carriers, so many of them. And assault troop ships and assault cargo ships of a kind that didn't even exist when Tweed became a fugitive. The fleet has come to this staging base, itself so recently in Jap hands, loaded and powered for the attack on Guam. Now, while a band swings out, heavy shells are taken aboard. The finishing touch, the steel that will sting. The big claws, these 14-inch shells, will rip out shore installations, make the landing less costly in American lives. Cans of 40mm ammunition pile up in great mounds on deck. A curtain of fire waiting to be raised if needed. There, across the water, lies Guam. It means much to all Americans. But most of these sailors, they're Guamanians, Americans too. Americans known as Chamorros, whose families have been captives of the Japs for 31 bitter months.
Soon we will find out what those Japs have done to our island. Beautiful it was then, and living there made us happy. There were 21,000 of us, and we knew each other as friends. Although we were far out in the Pacific, we were proud to be under the American flag. We were content. It was a good life.
He's got a car!
The Navy ran the island like a great ship. It gave us doctors and hospitals, and there was care for everyone and free schooling. With many of us younger boys, our big ambition was to grow up and join the Navy. Our older men learned about self-government from the captain who was in charge of the island. We organized our own militia. And our heroes were the Marines. But there were not many of them.
Their agents among us were busy. Guam was not to be an obstacle to the plans of Tokyo. Then on a certain day in December 1941, the masters of Japan were the Guam announces the return to Guam. We
Japan! Guam is Japanese forever! And and 1,000 lives per acre.
We built such fleets that we were able to start the march back at Guadalcanal.
At this ridiculous rate of advance, America might recover its lost territory in perhaps 200 years.
Then we made enough planes to begin whittling down the Jap fleet. We grew strong enough to attack New Guinea.
Our Axis allies are pinning America down in Europe. We shall be very much stronger before America is free to move in the Pacific.
We built our way out of the sea. With amphibious operations, we blasted Tarawa and the Marshalls.
We are willing to sell you land at 1,000 lives per acre. At such a price, we will sell you 1,000,000 square miles if you wish.
Then we were ready for the great adventure, an attack on Japanese territory. We conquered Saipan.
But not Guam. Guam is secure. Guam is Japan. Guam is Japanese forever.
Today, our guns thunder their answer. Our guns are on target.
All right, bring that gun over here.
I think I'm gonna put an end to the stream right now.
Their emperor has failed them. Not so long ago, they turned their backs on their sacred mountain and sailed to Guam. This was to be their colony, their promised land, and the Chamorros would be their slaves. They came to stay forever. Now the plans of empire lie in ruins. Guam's destiny as a fortress of Japan has been smashed. Now a new Marine garrison takes up the watch on Guam. Today, an American task force controls the waters off Guam. Two months after his rescue, George Tweed, now warrant officer and holder of the Legion of Merit for his aid in the recovery of Guam.
If I asked you to name as many movies for another 4 years, Japan was one of those allied forces
called cliques, who fought both with and against each other in shifting alliances. The Republican Kuomintang under Chiang Kai-shek and the Socialist Chinese
affiliated after were left in the street with bayonets stuck in them.